Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. Got some great guests today. First, I want to tell you that the American Fine Craft Show returns to the XL Center in downtown Hartford April 8th and 9th, and we have a couple of very fantastic and talented crafters who will be at the show with us today. First up is Kathleen Scranton of Vintage Purses and Bees. First time on the show, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Have some of your goods on the table here. Now, tell me, for people who haven't attended one, what is a typical craft show like?
Well, the craft show that we're going to be doing in Hartford is a juried craft show, which means you have to submit photos.
That's important, because we learned about this a lot off the air. So tell us what a juried craft show is.
You have to submit 5 photos of your work, and sometimes you even have to do it in your studio so they can prove that you've actually made them. Juried means handmade, not produced by anybody else. And after they review all the jury, they decide if you're worthy to go to the show. And they really want higher end. Richard's very, very good at curating higher end crafters.
And Richard is the organizer of the craft show.
Rothbard.
Now, so juried, the opposite of that would be no vetting process, basically.
You pay the money and you're in.
Yeah, and that's it, huh? So
yes,
that's all about the dollars.
Yes.
And then that really, I mean, you have very questionable quality then at that point, where it comes from, maybe not even from this country.
It's probably not handmade and probably not made here in the U.S., imported.
Wow.
So somebody is just really selling it.
So a vetted craft show like this is top of the line, handmade, and usually local too, right?
Yes. Well, not always local, but at least in the New England area for this particular show. And what the customer gets is he can collect these items because they are handmade, one of a kind, and he could come back year after year and add to his collection.
Okay. And so it's just rows and booths and tables of...
There's usually 150, 200 10 by 10 stalls, as they call them.
So it kind of fills up like sort of a convention center.
The whole Excel Center.
Yeah, the whole floor, basically.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
And so give me a wide range of some of the things that are there. We'll get to your stuff specifically.
Well, there will be handcrafted jewelry, clothing, pottery, glass, woodenware, purses, of course.
Right.
There would be leather purses. There would be weavings. I know there's a rug weaver there. There's a pen maker. Along those lines of anything that could be just handmade.
Yeah, and so you say people come back every year to these things and add to their collection.
Yes, they do.
And these are collectors that are buying this stuff.
Yes.
You know, it's not just I mean, you can come in off the street and see something you like and buy it, but there are people that take it very serious. Not the people that are just selling it and making it, but people who want to acquire this stuff too.
Well, what's important about it too is it's one of a kind. So you're getting something no one else got at Walmart and
that's
off the
definitely
streets
not from
of New
around.
York.
Yeah, that's right. That's the other option.
It's definitely handmade.
Well, tell me about your vintage purses to start with here.
Well, I started making these a few years ago after I was aged out of corporate America.
Come on.
And I still am not ready to go quietly, so I'm going to be working quite a while because I love making things. I found out the libraries were throwing away the old books. And I wanted to come up with a way to make them a form of art so they wouldn't be thrown away and would be respected. Because books, as we know, before the age of television and radio, were the only way we learned anything.
And now before the age of the internet, too.
Exactly. And of course, the internet is still a little, anybody can write what they want on the internet.
You can self-publish on the internet, basically.
Yes, you can. So I started locally because I'm from Connecticut, and I started, actually the Mark Twain Museum loved these, and I donated them to their auction every year.
Wow.
And this book is from 1917, and believe it or not, it gets thrown away because it's not collectible, it's not a first edition, and there were people who don't even know what Tom Sawyer is, and that is disrespectful to myself.
What does that say about our education system if they don't know who Tom Sawyer is?
Well, they don't even know who Black Beauty is, and that even is worse.
Come on,
because Black Beauty spawned the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
Right.
We won't not have the Humane Society without Black Beauty. So what I'm doing is I'm making these works of art. You wear this. You're the only one in the world that has this particular purse, and you get the book too, and maybe now you will read that book and learn about Tom Sawyer, because Mark Twain wrote some pretty important books.
So this used to be a book, now it's a purse, but you also will get a copy of the book with this purse?
The actual pages that were in this 1917, I take them out whole, I rebind them, I give them a plain cover, and they go with it. So now you've got the husband and the wife traveling together, and they should always stay together. Nice,
very nice. All right, now, here's another question I have to ask you about these purses, because you seem to be a person of really good fashion sense as well. Can you accessorize with this and make it look good and a nice outfit going out on the town?
It goes perfect with a little black dress. And if you took Uncle Tom's Cabin. If you wanted to wear a nice little red dress with this one, it would be cool. But there's also the part about what you're wearing also makes a fashion statement. Here we are with activism. Here we are with, this is young adult. Believe it or not, Tom Sawyer was a young adult novel. This is Shakespeare.
That's classy.
This is your cell phone wallet. I even put little wallet inserts in there so you can put this in your bigger purse and take it out when you want to go hands-free shopping.
Wow. Okay. Are there things for men too that you make? Yes.
I make pad folios, which we take to a business meeting, open them up, you got the big pad. I make journals. I make iPhone, I make iPad, I make tablets, Nooks, Kindles.
So even though you're going back in time with all this stuff, you know that people carry iPads and iPhones and tablets and laptops and everything, so you accept that fact and you will make things accordingly so that they can carry those around.
You can put your Nook in a book and save one from being thrown away.
Ah, that's clever. Very nice. An example of some of the things that will be at the American Fine Craft Show at the XL Center. Just a few of your things, right?
I will have a laptop holder from Shakespeare. I will have 50 or so cell phone wallets. I have padfolios for the gentlemen, journals, a lot of handbags like this, probably 40. My booth generally has about 300 purses in there because I never have all the books everybody wants.
What's the typical crowd that you see coming to these craft shows? What is the type of person?
People who appreciate handmade, have the income to be able to purchase it, or they really, really want it and they'll just save up for it.
And simple as that, right?
Yep.
How about just impulse buyers that come and they go, wow, I like that. That's
there
very
are
unique.
products there for impulse buyers, and that usually would be under $50, and there's plenty of products there for people to do that. And they'll go from one booth to the next. They might want this ring. They might want that piece of jewelry. And if they feel drawn to it, of course they'll buy it because it's still one of a kind.
Right. And again, this for you personally, this is the ability for you to not have to retire and call it a day and go sit in a rocking chair. It's something that you enjoy doing, and you're going to continue your life. You don't seem the type that's going to ever be sitting in a rocking chair, right?
No. And the craft show group of people, as I call it, we're like our little roving band of gypsies. We've all become friends, and we go to different craft shows together, and we all become friends. There's people in their 80s that are still doing these craft shows and set up their booths, and they're still going strong because they have a purpose.
Yeah.
They have a very strong purpose, and they make wonderful things.
You make a living doing this, or is it sort of a sideline thing for some people, a hobby for some people, right?
The juried craft level is not a hobby.
Okay, it's serious stuff.
The buy-sell people that are at the shows where you just pay to go in, that would be a hobby. But when you're investing in a juried show, you're paying $1,000 just for the rent to be able to show your products. So you're in it for the long haul.
Very good.
I intend to make lots of money.
That's right. Now, you actually don't know where your particular setup will be yet at the...
I do.
Oh, you do know, but
yes.
At this point you do.
Richard has already showed us where we are. We have a move-in time. You have a scheduled time to move in because everybody can't go at the same time.
Are you able to tell people at this point, like I'll be next to and I'll be first aisle down from that kind of a thing?
And I use my social media to do that. I have all of the social media, especially Twitter and Facebook. It's really important for someone, especially my age, to be aware of the importance of social media. So I hired a young girl who's a genius.
It's so necessary because you have to be where the people are. They're on social media. And it's also they can comment, they can react. A website is fine, but it's kind of static.
Correct.
Social media in general is they can respond back and comment and
it is
like and everything.
So important. And because it does take time, she does 3 or 4 hours a week for that. I don't have that time. I'm making these. I still physically make all my own purses. So she is like my right-hand woman.
Before we run out of time, let's move on to bees. Tell us about that.
Well, we're beekeepers, and that's how I started my business when I left corporate America. And bees are very important to all of us because they pollinate 80% of the food that we eat, fruits and vegetables. So I started with encaustic painting and folk art and my purses, and I did an entire year of shows, and the purses took off, and people were interested in the bees, but not so much to buy.
Yeah.
And
what do you do with them? You know, you take them home, then what? You know, they're just
well, the paintings are attractive,
and
the stuffed animals are really cute. But you can wear a purse, and you can make more of a fashion statement with that than wearing a felt bee. So I still paint, and we still are beekeepers because it is important to pollinate everywhere you can.
Are they? Is there an issue with them becoming endangered?
Still.
Or, is that right, really?
Still. Colony collapse disorder is still a very, very bad. There's ticks that came from mites that come from Europe. All kinds of things are attacking our honeybees, and we really need to save them.
Can we?
Yes.
Okay. You're helping to do that.
More and more people. I got my bees.
Okay, good.
My girls are working hard in the back
field. You didn't
field.
bring any bees with you today. It would have been great to have them on the show.
Well, some people are allergic.
Yeah. I hear you. So let's give out the website for people to go and learn more. Okay.
It's Beez, B-E-E-Z, by Scranton, which is my last name, S-C-R-A-N-T-O-N.
And can they learn about the all the vintage purses and stuff
They
on that
can learn
too?
about the bees and the purses. I never have a time talking about anything.
Ever.
Never.
All right. Kathleen Scranton, she will be at the American Fine Craft Show. It's the XL Center, downtown Hartford, April 8th and 9th, right?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. We'll take a short break and come right back.
You might want to repeat that one.
Right. The show, 8th, 9th, and 10th at the XL Center in downtown Hartford. It's going to be a great time. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is For the Record. Stay right there. Welcome back to For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. Again, the American Fine Craft Show is coming back to the XL Center downtown Hartford. The dates are April 8th, 9th, and 10th. And in our second segment, we have Meg Bowman, who, along with her husband, are operators of Meb's Kitchenwares, and they're in Woodstock, Connecticut. And you can see some of the many fine kitchenware items that are on the table here. First of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here.
Tell us about Meb's Kitchenwares.
Well, as you said, my husband and I work together. We make all of our pieces out of New England hardwoods. So these are all local woods to our areas: bird's eye maple, cherry, black walnut. Tom, my husband, does pieces that have to be fit together.
Like
He's
this, for
very
example.
precise, right?
Yeah.
This is an heirloom piece that your grandchildren will have. It's got a little stainless steel spring inside, so it won't rust, and it can pick up anything.
Yes.
And nicely, so it'll toss salads, it'll dish things out for you, and
I was
then
thinking pasta, you know.
pasta,
Yeah,
beautiful.
Of course, I wasn't going to mention the salad, you know. Yeah.
Oh, who wants that? So this is the smaller version of that. It's got a little. This hinge is made out of wood. So this is black walnut and cherry, and with this you can take your toast out of your toaster, of
Right.
course. But also you can flip things in the pan. You've got some little potatoes going. Yeah.
I'm hungry.
I do the spoon carving. I like to carve. So I like to carve fancy things like spirals.
Oh, I like that.
This is a double spiral, 2 spirals.
It acts as
following
a
each
grip
other.
too. Yeah.
It does, yep, and it can go right or left-handed. But I like to make things that are specially made for left-handed people like you who don't cook. But
As far as you know. The microwave, does that count? No, it doesn't
it
count.
well, you might need to stir things up a little bit.
Exactly.
This is my little sauté spatula. This is a right-handed one. And see how nicely it fits in my hand.
Right.
And this is a left-handed spoon. I've got a little special notch to put your thumb in so that you won't lose grip on it. And it's a slightly ovalish handle, so it won't turn in your hand as you're stirring a heavy batter.
Now, how did you decide to make them customized for left and right-handers? Because a lot of these things you see are kind of generic, right?
Yes,
and you
they
just,
are.
You know?
Yeah, the lollipop
Right.
spoons. Well, when I first started off making these things, I was very enthusiastic, and I got a little carried away working very hard and pressing hard into it. I use machinery to work with, sanding machines, and I got tendonitis in my right arm
Wow.
so badly that the doctor said, either you strap that arm behind your back and forget you have it
Right.
for a while, or you will be permanently left-handed. So for a while, for a couple months, I was left-handed.
You didn't think those people existed in the world before this,
I
right?
didn't know.
Yeah.
This is a right-handed world.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, but when you're cooking, if you want to saute, you put this in your hand, it's just
It doesn't work.
The leading edge is in the wrong place.
Yeah.
It's not scraping correctly. It's just not a pleasant experience. So our goal is to make cooking and entertaining a pleasant experience. And it should be fun. I mean, you should have things like electric guitars
That's
to
great.
serve platters
Yeah.
and little flying pigs.
Now, that's how
and
you kind
toasts.
of tell a story about how this guy, because our director, who junior high, built a clock that way, and you kind of like started the same way, didn't you?
We did. This is my son-in-law made one in junior high, a larger pig without the wings, and gave it to his mother. So our daughter said to me, well, I'd like to have a copy of that pig because his mother has this pig. So that was my first cutting board. And so I like to do the carving. He's got a little carved tail, little wings that are slightly raised. And see how nice it happens when you carve into wood. It alters the grain of the wood so that it just makes a pleasing shape, and they're so cute. So thanks to junior high shop class, we now have boards and utensils.
It's not just utensils, but it's thing like this is like sort of a hot plate, right?
Where a hot plate, a trivet. And this is a little bowl
for
that you might
dipping
put
sauce or something like that.
Dipping sauce, nuts.
Right. It must have been very difficult for you to be restrained from doing the thing you love because you were too enthusiastic about it, and you're going to make me stop, and you had to like, it's like setting your rehab back a ways because you're tempted to want to still use that.
Well, I tried to teach my left hand to do things because my left hand is a good helper. I did have to become, but now I try to balance, have a good balance, and I think that's true of anything in life. If you have a good balance, then you're going to go further.
And this is an example of some of the things that will be at the American Fine Craft Show at your booth, and you know where your booth is at already?
Do.
Okay.
I have a corner booth.
Oh, a corner booth. Let's give out a website for people to go and learn more about some of your products.
It is my website is mebskitchenwares.com. So it's MEBS Kitchen. WARES.
All right. The reason I wanted you to get that website in is because I want to segue into some other things that are going on at the show and some weaving, I guess, right?
Yes. I understand there is the Hartford Artisans Weaving Center will provide an opportunity for people interested in trying weaving. So they'll have some demonstration looms, and they'll have weaving activities for children and for adults.
Oh, fun stuff.
I'm going to go do that.
Yeah, very good.
I've always wanted to weave. I think for me, the hardest thing to think of is setting it up.
Oh yeah,
and there's a lot of counting to that. See, that's not me.
Well, when you become an expert at it, then make me a shawl or something like that.
No, that would not be me. That would be Tom. Would be more likely to do that. With the measuring and the precise things.
All right.
I just go with the flow.
One of the many things you can see at the American Fine Craft Show, XL Center, downtown Hartford, April 8th, 9th, and 10th. Now, this is all going for a great cause, the Connecticut Children's Medical Center. We're going to learn about that next, so stay right there. We'll have one more segment and come back. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Meg Bowman, thanks for being on the show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. Today we're talking about the American Fine Craft Show that's coming to the XL Center in downtown Hartford. I'd like to introduce Kay Page Greaser, who I like to describe as really one of the masterminds behind many of the great shows that you see on For the Record. So thank you for being on the show, and I believe this is the first time you're on camera, correct?
It is the first time I've been on camera,
well,
and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the American Fine Craft Show. It's coming up quickly. So just we talked about with people, individual crafters at the show, but let's talk about the show in general.
Well, the show in general is only the second year that they've done this in Hartford. And a lot of people in Hartford, because there's lots of arts and crafts people in the state and in the area. You've got the Wadsworth Athenaeum, you've got lots of galleries, you've got lots of interest in art and locally done art. There happen to be around 14, 15 vendors who are from Connecticut, but this is a nationwide. People may submit nationwide that are willing to or interested, or maybe they have a place out here that they could stay, and people that they would enjoy visiting. So there are everybody from glass making to actually this year there's some photography, there's basket weaving, and there's lots of interesting things, not just the things you've seen so far today. So I would urge everyone to go to the website to AmericanFineCraftShowHartford.com. Be sure you say Hartford, otherwise you might get last year's because they haven't cleaned up the website yet.
Okay. Yeah.
So AmericanFineCraftShowHartford.com is the right website that will have all of the information. There's a button on there to list for the exhibitors who are going to be there. There's a button to get discounts for entry. If you do that, you have to do that on the website. The other important thing, the entrance fee is not very expensive. It's for an adult, $14, for a senior, 65 plus, $13, students, $8, meaning, let's say, an art student. And that's really a nice thing. You can do a 2-day pass for both Saturday and Sunday if you want, or you can just go on Friday, and the Friday benefit is for the Connecticut Children's Medical Center. 10% of all proceeds from everything sold go to the Connecticut Children's Medical Center, and we all know what good work they do. I think you've had them on your show before. and they're very helpful to us. And then individually, Richard Rothbard, who puts on this show, has agreed to donate $1 of every ticket sold to the charity for the whole duration of the show.
Excellent. Now,
that doesn't happen very often.
If you were thinking about going to the show and you're teetering, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Now you know it's going for a great cause. So come down for, if no other reason than that. But once you get there, you're going to love all the exhibitors and everything that's going on there. And I like the XL Center too. Centrally located, downtown Hartford. Boom, you drive into the city. Great location. And like you said, they're coming from everywhere, all different directions.
The interesting thing for the what we call the First Look Benefit Day, which is Friday, that runs from 11 to 7. And again, artists donate 10% of anything sold that day to the charities, to Connecticut Children's Medical Center. But the nice thing about that is it gives you a chance to purchase some of these first-only things, because remember, Kathleen was talking about the fact that everything's one of a kind.
Yeah.
So if you really like something and you come on Friday, you should nab it then, because it may not be there.
Good point.
Or it may have to be custom made for you, and if you want it for a gift or for a personal reason immediately, that's a nice opportunity. And that's something that wasn't done last year, and in that particular capacity. The other thing that they're doing this year that's unique is they are giving a refundable admission program, so that if you buy a ticket, and you will get 2 coupons worth $7 each, and if you present that coupon, you buy something, the artist will give you $7 off immediately. And if you buy more than $75 and you buy $150, then you get more off. So it's a...
And you're getting your money back from the door.
You're getting your money back from it if you want to.
Yeah.
That's really all it's about, is those people that like this stuff really like it. And I shouldn't say stuff, because it's artwork.
Yeah, a lot of it's local, and it's just homemade and good stuff. Why don't you give the website out for the show one more time? We are out of time, but I want to make people go to the website and see everything that they can. It's
AmericanFineCraftShowHartford.com, all together. AmericanFineCraftShowHartford.com.
Looking forward to it. Kay Page Greaser, pleasure having you on in front of the camera for the first time, and I thank you. Keep the shows coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You can see this show and many others on our YouTube sites. Till next time, I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Take care.